Hello everyone, today we are going to be reacting to It's Pretending to Be Me, a scary Minecraft video. We're only reacting to half right now though.
You're playing Minecraft with your good friend Steve. You've been progressing through the world all day, but you feel as though Steve's behavior is a bit strange. Then all of a sudden, you get a text from that same friend.
Hey, you wanna get on Minecraft later?
If I'm not playing with Steve right now, then who are you? 5 months ago, I uploaded a YouTube video discussing about a Minecraft channel that had weird things going on, named Simon12. The story is about a kid who documents his journey on trying to beat the game with his friend Angelo. Unbeknownst to Simon, he was never with his friend Angelo, but instead someone who pretended to be him. This someone is Herobrine's brother. If you haven't already, watch the first video to fully understand everything. This is part 2 of Simon12. The video begins with Simon spawning on a pillar in the middle of the void. Although there are random blocks, which I'll get to later, he maneuvers his way down to a crafting table. He then crafts a bed, and then we see what's happening. Simon is stuck in a loop. He can't just leave by jumping into the void because we see that it takes him right back to where he started. Simon is trapped, which is why he uses a bed to try and find another way of killing himself. He heads back down, desperate to find any means of getting out until...
Maybe he's like physically stuck there, in the real world as well.
I mean, if you think, it's just a
we
game.
get a message.
It's not even possible.
I've gotten a few things, in case you're wondering. I've seen a few videos where I'm pretty sure they're faking it, but people's souls get sucked into Minecraft somehow. I don't know how, but yeah.
It could be it.
Simon then jumps into the void and everything resets until he turns around and we see a sign that says Simon says goodbye. He ignores it and instead makes himself a chest to store items. When he jumps into the void again, this time he's given a new sign when he respawns that says Simon says Angelo. Angelo being Simon's best friend, the same person that would pretend to be Angelo to trick Simon into thinking he's with his friend. Simon seems to have noticed something because he starts bridging out until he stops and throws an item into the void, but instead of falling into the void, there seems to be a platform, and hiring the exposure, we can tell it's an obsidian platform. Simon then takes a leap. The video ends.
Oh.
Let's start from the beginning. Immediately, we're given a question. Where is Simon? These random pillars I mentioned actually aren't random. In an older episode, when Simon had first entered the end, he started building up an obsidian pillar with the same amount of planks, wool blocks, and andesite. And once he reached the top, he built up 3 more wool blocks, which matches the blocks on these towers. We also remember that Herobrine's brother removed the end island, including all the pillars, which is why Simon is only surrounded by the void and the blocks he placed. If you still don't believe me, at the end of the video, Simon notices what looks to be an obsidian platform, which if you don't know, can naturally generate only in the end dimension. We also get 2 messages that pop up in chat by XXAngelo XX233, aka Simon's friend, saying he's not a fighter. We can tell Angelo is referring to Simon, but right now we don't know the context of the message. As Simon attempts to escape, he's being taunted by Herobrine's brother, with signs saying goodbye or Angelo. It's important to remember that all of this is happening because Angelo summoned the secret Herobrine, which is why this entity goes out its way to clone himself as Angelo, trapping him in this world and pretending to be someone he's not. But Simon realizes the real Angelo has been trapped, and this message shows us that Angelo is still out there. But where is Angelo? And how is Simon going to escape the end if he keeps getting reset every time he dies? Even though the story of the Simon Simon channel stops with this video, I knew I had to dig deeper. And while digging, I decided to check out a channel named Poodleswift, which was the channel that originally created the Simon 12 playlist and had access to these unlisted videos. But at the time, the channel had nothing to offer. Until now. A single video on the account. We don't know who runs this, but it's obvious Simon is calling for our help. This is where the hunt for Angelo truly begins.
They're just trying to make a series for someone to see.
The video begins with a person recording. We don't know who's recording yet, but what we do know is that this spot takes place from an older video on the Simon channel, when Simon found his house built with extra layers of walls and was being haunted by the alternate Herobrine. Then a message is typed in chat with the letters BZFFRB, which I'll just call Beesverb, and we can see the person recording is actually Simon. We don't know what this message means, but the video then cuts, and Simon begins placing a bunch of dirt blocks, but it seems to be a pattern, which I'll get to in a second.
Morse
we
code.
then get another clip of what looks to be Simon writing dashes and underscores on a sign for some reason. Then more messages appear in chat. There's 5
that
Morse
also
code
Morse
messages
code?
and 5 normal messages. The normal messages seems like a set of directions, saying go to your present Beesverb, step back to the cave ores, there's gold there, and over to the right, further where it didn't check yet. What does this mean? We have no idea. Then the final part of the video has Simon staring into the distance with a book in his hand, with a sign saying, Angelo, you know how to read this cause you taught me. And then he opens up a book, revealing 9 pages of scrambled letters before the video ends.
Is that Cypher?
There's 4 moments in this video where Simon communicates to us. The first one being the block placements, which if we take a look at the block placement patterns, we'll see he only uses single blocks or 2 blocks. Single blocks seem to represent a period, and 2 blocks represents a dash, which are the 2 characters used when using Morse code that uses periods and dashes to translate real words. After 30 minutes of following along the pattern, it led me to the translation of, hey, I'm fine, I'm at my base. The second moment is when Simon writes on a sign, which again is Morse code. We have the dashes and the underlines are supposed to be periods, and if we replace them, we're given the translation here yet. The third moment is when Simon is writing normal messages, but in between there's Morse code, which when deciphered gives us a totally different conversation going on.
I want to tell you about a friend of mine. A friend I trust, even if he's the stupidest guy I know. A friend that will know me when I speak, who I will know when he does too. A friend that knows here is not a place that exists without.
And the fourth moment is something that we don't know just yet, but I will mention later in the video. The common theme I noticed between the 4 clips is that they're all hidden messages for Angelo. Simon communicates to Angelo using these tricks to prevent
Morse
the alternate
code.
Herobrine from catching along with what they're talking about. Simon lets Angelo know that he's fine and that he's at his base. He asks him if he's here yet and tells him where to go. There's even a secret message that's made just for Angelo to read, but we don't know what it means exactly. We also don't know what Beesverb means. When he tells him to go to the present Beesverb, what exactly does this mean? As of right now, we don't know, but the description of the video brings us to another piece of evidence. It's a bunch of equal signs and O's saying, put it all here, I gave you the password. Judging that I had to replace certain characters with dashes or periods, I decided to do the same thing with this. The equals replaced with dashes and the O's replaced with periods. And when decoding this Morse code, we're given a brand new channel named Angelo. The video begins with Angelo in a room.
Dark, no room.
We also notice that these messages aren't sent by Angelo. This alternate Herobrine can see what he types even if he doesn't enter it and uses it to pretend that he's Angelo. The roof then opens up and he leaves the room. He looks around and finds himself in a barren wasteland with nothing in sight as he roams this lonely world he's been trapped in. Along the way, we notice he places sand pillars, most likely to trace his steps. We're then given a flashback.
We should race for them.
Okay. Come, I have a strip mine here.
Ready.
Yay.
Angelo reminisces the times he had with Simon, using it as motivation to escape. Angelo then notices something in the distance, and this time without even typing anything, a message is sent in chat. There's something here. This secret Herobrine can't just see the player's screens, but can also read their thoughts. Angelo takes a closer look into the desert pyramid. Inside are 2 beds and 2 chests. And then Angelo seems to be trapped. He then looks inside the chest to see this.
Simon says it's not you.
We've now seen firsthand what happened to Angelo. Not only has he been trapped, but this alternate Herobrine can look at screens and even read the player's minds. It's easy to understand why Simon believed he was communicating to the real Angelo. If you're unaware, at the end of the video, these items we see in the chest are a specific set of materials that were used when summoning this alternate Herobrine.
This before, bro. Okay? In the first video, in the Simon 12 video, in the first one, I know I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's the thing you used to summon the thing.
Yeah. Okay, so wait, this might have to do. Okay, look, I just gotta make sure. What time is the video on? Okay, so 10. So 10 plus 50. Okay, so
Half the videos right here.
let's continue.
Yay.
Description reads, "I don't make the rules." Although Angelo understands the position he's in right now, we can tell he's determined to escape and to get him and Simon out of this mess. And in episode Reflect, we'll hopefully see that.
Chicken fried steak's good though.
The video begins with Angelo still in the desert pyramid.
I've always got a plan, Simon. Just keep going.
But then as he types his 3rd message, Angelo is being taunted. This alternate Herobrine mocks him, believing he'll never escape. Angelo then writes 3 in chat. We can tell Angelo is able to leave, but he chooses not to. But before we can figure that out, we notice someone starts mining. Angelo tries to take a peek while hiding, then barricades himself. Some time passes and he decides to leave his hole. But as Angelo sneaks around to take a closer look,
Oh, I saw that. There was a character standing in the corner. Oh.
Angelo starts panicking. We then notice an obsidian pillar. He then starts bridging to the top. He takes a good look around his area and the entire world is completely corrupted. Controlled by this Herobrine, Angelo has no choice but to watch. But then he notices something in the distance, and as he starts running,
There. That's what we need for it. Whoever gets the most wins.
Nah, I got this. How's me gonna help us anyway?
Oh no, not that. Leather. Now you don't need to worry about that.
Hey,
See? We're safe now.
Angelo finds bits and pieces of his memories in this world. This house, this broken nether portal, the scarecrow, are all part of Simon's world that Angelo can remember. Angelo decides to enter the house before the video ends. Now, at first I theorized that Angelo was trapped in a corrupted world made by the alternate Herobrine, but now that might not be the case. While yes, I do think the alternate Herobrine trapped Angelo, I think he's trapped him inside his head. That's why we can see Angelo's memories, and why he's always finding himself in deja vu situations. The alternate Herobrine makes Angelo remember, to really have Angelo remember the good memories he once had, and to show that it'll never come back again. Not to mention, this obsidian pillar can't generate in the overworld like this. Angelo is remembering the end fight. When him and Simon were finally reunited on the top of the end pillar, Angelo's imagination is what causes these structures to be summoned. And in the next episode, we'll start to take a closer look into Angelo's head. The video begins with Angelo investigating the house. He finds a chest with a bunch of materials, Simon's materials, because remember, Angelo is in Simon's house. He grabs everything and makes himself a full set of iron armor. He then creates himself a tower.
Wish you could see this. He's gotta be out there. This is him. This is his home. He's here. He's not a fighter, sure, but he's smart. This is gonna be proof. This channel, something found him, and I don't know how to explain what it is. I don't even know what it is either. You'll see, I guess. Or I guess you did. Luckily that was a brief conversation. I can't believe he learned how to make a base. Rock on, bro.
Then we hear a glass break. He quickly runs into the house and makes himself a sword, ready to fight off this alternate Herobrine. He looks around before he starts talking to the entity.
I know what you're doing. Ever since I brought you here, you stole him. That's probably not all you steal, is it? You're a parasite. You're the bug we would step on when we walked to school. Do something. Show me how he's gone. How you ever could have taken him. Show me what you are.
He then pulls out a sign.
If I know what it is, I can know how to fight it.
The video then cuts and Angelo notices the obsidian pillar. He starts bridging to it. As Simon arrives at the pillar, he turns around and sees a random chunk floating in the air. When he turns all the way around, we see a floating end island. Angelo doesn't know it yet, but this end island is the only shot he has to escaping this place he's been trapped in. Let's review Angelo's conversation because this gives us more information than we think. For one, we're given context to the message, he's not a fighter. For some reason, throughout the entire monologue, the only messages that were able to reach Simon was those words. In fact, this isn't the first time something like this had happened. Back in the episode Bunker, when Angelo said the words, "dark, no room," we saw the same message on the Simon channel in part 1 of my video, "dark, no room." For some reason, certain messages are able to reach Simon. These words don't seem to really mean anything, it just seems like pure coincidence. That or the alternate Herobrine will allow certain messages to send through to Simon. Maybe this entity does this to allow hope, to make them believe there's a chance they'll reunite because the entity is just that confident it'll never happen. This thing goes above and beyond to not only scare but psychologically torture these kids. And the reason why it does all of this was answered when Angelo said, "Ever since I brought you here, we stole him." We remember the moment Angelo decided to summon this alternate Herobrine. What was supposed to be a funny joke turned into awakening a mysterious entity that now goes out its way to haunt these kids. Worst of all, unlike these other well-known Minecraft entities, this one never reveals itself, with Angelo even saying, "Show me what you are." Although this entity may seem almighty and powerful, that's not totally true. He's gotta be out there. This is him. This is his home. He's here. Why would Angelo say this? Well, this goes back to the secret video on the Poodleswift account. When I was deciphering one of the hidden messages, remember how it turned out to be, "Hey, I'm fine, I'm at my base"? Angelo must have deciphered the message. He found this video and got Simon's message, so he arrived at Simon's base looking for him. Angelo and Simon can still communicate, even if the entity stops them from doing it in-game. Remember, Angelo isn't just a friend of Simon, this is his best friend, who will do anything in his power to get him back. He's not a fighter, sure, but he's smart. This is gonna be proof. He even says, "I can't believe he learned how to make a base, rock on, bro." Angelo has been there to teach Simon everything. Every flashback we're given revolved around Angelo teaching Simon something about Minecraft. Older videos on the Simon channel always had Angelo guiding Simon to teaching him how to play the game. Simon and Angelo's friendship is an unstoppable bond, and they're not gonna let some janky Herobrine getting in the way of reuniting with each other.
Stare down.
I'm in a sub race with my friend Flame to 500,000 subscribers. He's predicted to hit it in 3 months, while I'm predicted to hit it by next year. Me pushing.
Well then,
We notice a bunch of pillars.
Yeah. You think we should wrap it up here?
yeah, we should actually.
Okay. Well, everyone, if you liked that video, I hope you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time.
Next time.
Subscribe for part 2.